John Ashley with Prestige Curb Appeal. We do residential and commercial pressure washing. We do everything from roofs, houses, and driveways. Commercial-wise, we do shopping centers, parking lots, everything, you name it. It really helps and makes you feel good and increases the property value. Give me a call, 865-621-1004. We'd love the opportunity to give you a quote, come out and see your house, even look at your driveway.
All right, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. We're back at it here this morning. How was the weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Did you get the rain? Did you not get the rain? Did you do outdoor adventures? Did you enjoy it? Well, either way you slice it and dice it, grab a cup of coffee. We're back at it here on this Monday. We got a beautiful sunrise taking shape here this morning. I want to start you off with a live view, which you saw. See if I can get the words out here at the very beginning. But a nice sunrise from downtown Clinton and Anderson County. I got a little bit of fog across parts of the hills and in some of the valley areas. And some of you may be dealing with some patchy, dense fog. Others maybe not so much this morning. Good morning, Julie, Brian, Katrina, Judy, Robin, Carcane, and Chris this morning. What's up, everybody? Is everybody ready for a little bit better coverage of rainfall throughout the day today? Stay weather alert. Now, we don't have any severe weather today, per se, when it comes to damaging winds or anything like that, but we do have an elevated concern for flash flooding yet again. It's kind of a wash, rinse, repeat forecast, but there is a little better piece of energy that's going to swing on through that should increase the coverage of rainfall just a little bit more. Plus, our dew points will start to fall. I'm going to be talking much more about that here in this full forecast. So strap in, grab your cup of coffee or drink of choice, and let's get to work. So rainfall yesterday, we saw it across Upper East Tennessee. That's where we were expecting the majority of the rain. We saw some pretty good showers, some pretty good thunderstorms that moved our way on through. Saw some flash flooding in some locations in southwest Virginia and southeastern Kentucky. Are going to see the elevated risk for flash flooding as well. Now, yesterday I was forecasting 90 degrees. We made it to 91. 86 Crossville, 92 Chattanooga, and 87 in the Tri-Cities area. Knoxville, actually, McGee-Tyson Airport picked up 41/100ths of an inch of rain. All right, so let's start you off at the surface. I like to teach you everything that's going on in the atmosphere. So we start at the surface. We do have a frontal boundary that's kind of hanging off to our northeast. And along that cold front, or along that front anyways, we're going to see some elevated activity. But that cold front may be to our northeast right now. However, it is going to slowly slip its way in. If you were with me the other day, I called it a backdoor cold front. It's going to kind of slip in from the north and east rather than coming in from the west. Now let's go to the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So now we have a frontal boundary. This is a future cast throughout the day today. And notice those yellows and oranges that are coming in out of Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky as we get into the latter part of the day. That's our piece of energy. And that's going to now combine its efforts with that frontal boundary at the surface, and that's going to produce more rain. So much so that the Weather Prediction Center has issued a level 2 risk for flash flooding concerns across much of the state of Tennessee, Kentucky, and a level 1 risk outside of that area. So here at home, everybody is under a level 2 risk for some localized flash flooding. If you've seen a lot of rain over the last couple of days, over the last week, you have a greater potential for some flash flooding concerns because you have more of a saturated ground. Others that barely even saw any rain or have barely even seen any rain, well, less of a chance for some flash flooding. So let's explain those details. Over the last 2 days, you can get an idea of who's gotten the heaviest rainfall, but let's keep going. Last 3 days? All right. How about last 4 days? Now notice the Cumberland Plateau, Tennessee-Kentucky border, southeastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, and upper East Tennessee. Over the last 7 days, you all, my friends, have a greater risk today for flash flooding concerns because now you have a very saturated ground that has been with you for the last 7 days. Out there this morning, we don't have a lot of activity, although we did see some pretty good showers and thunderstorms through the overnight hours. Those have now waned, and we're going to see some sunshine, as we clearly saw from our Anderson County camera in downtown Clinton. All right, here's your future cast. So from now through lunchtime, we're going to be doing just fine. We're going to have plenty of sunshine early on. The clouds and the fog, the fog will kind of burn off. So some of you may see some overcast skies as the fog burns off if you have quite a bit of it in your area. Other than that, we'll see some sunshine, and then the clouds begin to increase. So from now through noon, we're going to be doing fantastic. But from noon to 3, here comes this piece of energy that's going to start to slide its way on into the area. So right around 3 o'clock, anytime after lunchtime to about 3 o'clock, Tennessee-Kentucky border, southwest Virginia, upper East Tennessee, stay weather alert. The rain showers could start to pick up about that point. And then it's going to increase in coverage and shift its way a little bit further to the south and southeast as we progress from 3 through 7, the evening rush hour. So I think a lot of us may be dealing with some showers and storms for the evening rush hour. But as we get closer to 9 to 10 o'clock here tonight, a lot of that activity will start to wane. But better coverage of rainfall. Not everyone's getting more, not everybody's going to get the rain here throughout the day today, but we have a better chance. So you're saying there's a chance, Witcher, huh? Is that what you're saying? Lunchtime temperatures, by the way, are going to be in the upper 80s. And if you've not stepped outside this morning, it is extremely muggy. I don't know why I skipped right past those current conditions, but let me go back to those current conditions. Temperatures this morning are in the low 70s, but those dew points are extremely high here this morning. Dew points are in the low 70s as well. So again, you step outside and you're like, ugh. And that's going to lead to heat index values today pushing back into the upper 90s to low 100s. So again, it's going to be another hot, muggy day around town. But we continue as we get into the evening hours. I think we'll have some showers and thunderstorms between 6 and 8 o'clock tonight, but between 8 and 10 is when the storms will start to kind of wind down. All right, high moisture equals heavy rain. We've talked about this. If you're new to the platform, we talk about more meteorology about what actually takes place and why the weather is going to be happening the way it's going to be happening. So now let's come back down to the surface. We'll go to precipitable water. So this is PWatts. Precipitable water means how much moisture can we precipitate out of the atmosphere. The darker shades of reds and yellows and oranges you can see on the banner on the top right is more saturated. Our PWatt values today are going to be pushing about a 1.75 through most of the day to about a 2.02 as we get into the evening hours, even between about, say, 4 or 5 o'clock tonight through about 7 or 8 o'clock here tonight. That means that we are going to anticipate potentially tropical-like downpours. You can see how all that moisture is going to be curving around that ridge of high pressure as it shifts its way north up the Mississippi River Valley. But watch this. Because remember, I said we got a little boundary that's going to slip its way on through. That does a couple things. A, that's going to bring us lower PWatt values as we get into the day tomorrow. What does that translate to, and what does that mean for us? That just means less tropical-like downpours. Does it mean it's going to shut off the rain? No, absolutely not. But it does mean less tropical-like downpours, less gully washers, or the rain's not going to be as intense. If that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So how it's all going to play out on Tuesday. Then that ridge of high pressure shifts its way to the northeast. That will bring our PWatt values back up as we round out the week and head into the upcoming weekend. All right, so we'll go about a 70% chance of rain here for the day today. Does that mean everyone gets rain? No. Don't cancel any of those outdoor plans. Remember, percentages never tell you the whole story. Timing, duration, intensity, or rainfall totals. But those rain chances start to dwindle tomorrow, and then pretty much lackluster as we get into our Wednesday, Thursday. A ridge of high pressure builds its way back in. That does a couple things. That brings sinking air, which limits our rising air potential. Plus, again, those PWatt values go down. The air dries out a little bit, and then we'll start to creep those rain chances back up. Now, I'm going to keep Saturday and Sunday now. I've bumped it from a 30% chance to a 40% both Saturday and Sunday. As we progress through the week, I will be tailoring that weekend rain accordingly. But as it stands right now, it does look like we probably have a pretty good shot for showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. So for you weekend warriors, something to keep in mind and check back in each and every day. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. We're going to be in the low 90s all the way across the 7-day stretch. So those low 90s, we're going to continue to add up and get closer and closer and closer to those seasonal average of 90s, which 90s are hotter anyways, which, by the way, is 34. 34 days is our average 90 degrees or hotter. So do we beat that this year? Potentially, we could. But again, remember, the dew points drop a little bit, but that doesn't really mitigate a whole lot our heat index values. Our heat index values are still going to be pushing the upper 90s to low 100s, but I've graduated this to make it look a little bit more extreme. I just wanted to prove a point that, yes, the air will start to dry out. Dew points start to drop into the low 70s. Still extremely muggy, no, either way you look at it. And so 70-degree dew point is muggy. But I think what you'll notice here as we get into our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the morning hours, you'll notice that it's not going to be as thick of an air mass. So hopefully that makes sense to you this morning as well. All right, we've got Beverly, Tracy, Denise. Good morning. How are you doing? We had some storms where we lived last night. Have a great and blessed week and stay cool, my friends. Brandon, I'm just going to share a picture of yours here. That I got a lot of Witchers pictures to share, and we do have the national holidays to talk about as well, which, of course, we'll move right along. I'll beat you to the punch, my friends. Let's dance, shall we? As we do so, I want to take you back outside. Oops. I pushed the wrong button. I probably just shut people off the app. Let's bring that back up on the app. All right. Anyways, a live look there at KMNV, Monroe County Airport. Got a nice little crescent moon in the top left-hand side of the screen right next to the Monroe County Airport name there. And a nice little sunrise taking shape. It's really going to turn out to be, it's a nice morning. It's a nice summer morning, isn't it? I like these summer mornings. All right, it's July 21st. It is July 21st. My wife's birthday is in just 7 days. I better get my act together, right? So we are celebrating birthdays and events here for the day today. If you have any events going on, how many of you went out to the Granger County Tomato Festival here this past weekend? It was a packed house for sure. Had a couple of days with some storms approaching and moving on through. I'm not quite sure if they actually got any rain at the Tomato Festival. But if you have events for the upcoming weekend, anything going on, we'll talk about it. Remember that I am going to be the lead meteorologist for the Big Kahuna Wing Festival coming up August 31st. August 31st, you can now purchase tickets to the Big Kahuna Wing Festival. I'll be broadcasting live down there. I'll have a big East Tennessee weather tent, and I'll be keeping everybody on top of the weather situation that day. If we have storms, I will be letting you know. So the Big Kahuna Wing Festival coming up August 31st. Grab your tickets today. Just log on to their website. All right. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. How many of you are in the doghouse? Anybody in the doghouse? Let's see what it says, shall we? Occasionally, we all need a free pass. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day on the third Monday in July, offers that fast track home we all need just every once in a while. Generally speaking, when you're in the doghouse, you have fallen out of the favor with someone. You've fallen out of favor with somebody, right? Usually your spouse or significant other. It's hard. Friendships, marriages, and relationships, they're hard. However, you could also be in the doghouse with a friend or your boss at work. This day uses all those good cliches to get you back in the big house where you belong. Hopefully you're not in the doghouse. Ain't nobody like to be in the doghouse, right? All right, it's National Be Someone Day. How about that? Let's see what that's all about. Chris says, no doghouse single, so I'm totally stray. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. All right, National Be Someone Day. On July 21st, the National Be Someone Day challenges each of us to take 10 seconds to make a difference in a child's life. Whether that be your own kids, a neighborhood kid, a kid that you see that struggles, no matter what it may be. What can you do in just 10 seconds, you ask? Well, we can shift gears or water a plant. We can hear or tell a bad joke. In 10 seconds, we can change our minds and after doing so, say a prayer of thanks. When we walk into a room, in that time, we can register the pain in someone's eyes and begin to provide comfort. We can praise and honor someone who deserves it. There we go. That's a good one. So if you have kids today, maybe it's a good day to just be present. More than 10 seconds with your kids. Ask them how their day is going. Rather than the mundane, everyday struggles of being a parent, it's hard. Go throw the baseball with your kid. Shoot some hoops with your kid. Go walk around the neighborhood and just have a good conversation. Today is the day to do so. It's National Junk Food Day. Which one is it? National Junk Food Day. Let's see what that says. All right, July 21st dedicates a giant menu of items to National Junk Food Day. This day permits us to chow down on the foods we usually don't include in our daily diets. Junk foods, by definition, typically contain high fat, sugars, salts, and calories, and very little nutritional value. With the advent of packaged food during the late 1800s, Did you know? Junk food made its way to the American life. Still, home-cooked meals remain the standard for several more decades. However, eventually, after World War II, the artery clogging industry took off. Since the population ate out more, see if I can get the punctuation right, traveled more, the industry was primed to produce products at an increased rate. From frozen food in the aisles to fast food chains, a myriad of choices for consumers flooded the market. Potato chips and baked goods, so much more filled the supermarket shelves, packaged and ready to go. Are you a junk food lover? Or do you try to stay away from junk food? Either way, today is the day to go splurge on some junk food. And it's National Lamington Day. I have no idea what this is, but it looks like something coconutty. July 21st is National Lamington Day on this National Day calendar. This delicious food holiday celebrates Australia's most famous culinary icon, the Aussie Lamington. Today, we are encouraging people to try Lamington while spreading the word about the tasty cake. Let's see. It's a sponge cake. Lamington consists of a sponge cake dipped in chocolate. After dipping the cake in chocolate, he decided to sprinkle the cake with fine pieces of coconut. The rest is delicious history. That's not really up my alley. That is not really up my alley, but coconut and chocolate combined on cake. I don't even like cake. All right, let's take it back outside, show you a live view now in downtown Gatlinburg. We got a few clouds hanging out with us, but a nice, quiet, mild, and muggy start to the day in downtown Gatlinburg. All right, you know what time it is. It's time to take a look at those photos that you all share through Witcher's Pictures. So we're going to start with Brandon's. Brandon is on the platform this morning, and this one, he was at the Lost Sea. And that is a picture of the Lost Sea. It took me a second, by the way, Brandon. It took me a second to figure out, is this picture upside down or right side up? And I went back to your message that you wrote on there, and you said, yep, you were at the Lost Sea. So I know exactly what this is because I have been there. And it was dark, so of course, it looks, it's hard to take pictures. All right. Elaine Ombre sharing another great photo here. So we'll take this one off here. Elaine Ombre, behind the lens is what she calls it. How about that one? That's a good one. Maybe I go this way. Anyways, we'll cover up my face. How about that? So that's Elaine Ombre, and behind the lens, I believe that's who that is. Let's double check here. Oops. Yeah, it is. Almost unreal thunderhead, she said, tonight over the Maryville area. So that's awesome. Let's see. We've got another great one coming in from Elaine. So this next one coming in from Elaine also is a great view of the thunderheads off in the distance and some high cirrus clouds hanging out with us. So that's always a good picture. Thanks, Elaine, for sharing those. How about this one? This is a good little picture. A nice little sunset around East Tennessee. This one is coming in from Bill Lyle. Sunset from Avalon. Sunset from Avalon, he says. That is a gorgeous sunset. We sure live in a beautiful part of East Tennessee. All right, Deborah Munson sharing this one with us. That's a good one from Deborah. Deborah says on this one, let's see, Granger County sunset. We've got one coming in from Dwayne Mason, a Rainbow Cross in Tellico Plains. This was a few years ago, he said. Let's take a look at this one. That's a little sundog, my friend. That's not a Rainbow Cross. That's a sundog. Cool view, though, you said, of a couple years ago. Here's a good one. How about this? Let's all do this and play in the rain, shall we? Now we got to turn that right side up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I did yesterday as well. If you saw my picture, this was from Mike Mays. Mike Mays. Finally got some rain, and the little dudes are pumped about it. You can see the mud splashing. That's awesome. That is awesome for sure. All right, got another great photo. Brian's on the platform here this morning. Good morning to Brian and his beautiful wife. Brian says, what a great day to be alive, he says. Well, let's get your heads now cut off. There we go. And you shaved the Santa Claus beard. You shaved the Santa Claus beard, huh? I like it. You're a good-looking man, my friend. You are one good-looking man. Oh, man. It's a gorgeous start to the day. It's a muggy start to the day. And that's the way it's going to be all day long today. By the way, it's 6:21 for those of you that need to head off to work. We are going to wrap things up here this morning. Good morning, Miranda. How are you this morning? Those great photos, Denise. Don't forget, you can always share your photos with me. Scan this QR code, right? Everything's backwards. Right there. Scan that QR code or log on to your app store and search East Tennessee weather. Trina loves playing in the rain. I do too. I do too. Anyway, scan the QR code. Watch out for the showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. Check back in on your noon update on all East Tennessee weather platforms, as I'll be diving into the details a little bit more. Noontime, we usually do a little bit of a quicker weather update, not to waste a bunch of time about all the shenanigans. And mornings and nights, we kind of go into a little bit more detail of why the weather is going to be the way it is. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. Remember, I've got a YouTube channel, so go subscribe to that YouTube channel. Smash and subscribe to that YouTube button. And I've got the East Tennessee weather platform playing up on the app as we speak. It's Monday, my friends. We're back at it. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully you have a great week. If you're joining on the app, I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel, and you'll get your updated forecast coming up in just a moment if you came in just a little bit on the late side. Microsoft Appreciation Day. I know nothing about that, my friend. Nothing about that. Everything I run is on a Mac. Anyways, my friends, be safe, be kind to each other. We're going to leave you with a live view and highlight your good mornings on the chat here this morning. A live view from Fox Road Marina in West Knoxville. I'll probably change the cameras because we've got a great sunrise in some locations. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. I'll see you back here tomorrow.